Hello, good day and welcome to my channel. The question here says, from the diagram above, find the length of AB, BC, and C, the radius of the circle. Now, if you look at these two lines here, they are tangent to this circle. That means the two lines are touching the circle at this point. So, the two tangents are coming from an external point. So, two tangents from an external point are equal. There's a circle theorem that states that tangents from an external point are equal. So if the tangent from here to this point is 10 centimeters, that means from here to this point will also be 10 centimeters since they are equal. Now, similarly, we also have from an external point A here to the circle as a tangent, then from this same point A to the circle as a tangent, and if this is 3 centimeters, this will also be 3 centimeters, the same theorem. So this is 3 centimeters. Now, we also have another tangent here from B to the circle here as a tangent, also from B to the circle here as a tangent. So we don't know the length of this, so let's take that length as x. So if from here to here is x, then from here to here will also be x, because they are also tangent to the circle. So the two tangents are equal since they are coming from the same point. So the same theorem works for these three pairs that we have here. Now, look at this triangle. It is a right angle triangle where the right angle is here and this is the hypotenuse of the triangle. So this full length AC is equal to this 3 plus 10, which is 13. So the full length is 13. And in a right angle triangle, using Pythagoras theorem, the square of the hypotenuse, that should give me 13 square. 13 square is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides of the triangle. So the length of this place will be 10 plus x. So this full length is 10 plus x because this part is 10. So this remaining place will be x. So the full length is 10 plus x. So from Pythagoras theorem, we also square the 10 plus x square. Then plus this third side is 3 plus x. That's the full length here will be 3 plus this x here. So that will give us 3 plus x, and then we also square it. So what we have written down here is the Pythagoras theorem. The Pythagoras theorem that says that the square of the hypotenuse side is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. And that is what we have written here. So if we simplify this further, this 13 square will give us 169. And that will be equal to, now a short way to expand this bracket is to square this number that we have here first. So 10 square will give us 100. And then the next thing, you multiply 10 by x. So 10 multiplied by x is 10x. And then you multiply by 2. So that's the short method of doing it. So 10 multiplied by x is 10x. Multiply by 2, it will give you 20x. And then the last thing is to square the last one we have here. So x squared will be written as x squared like this. So squaring the x, we have x squared. Then plus, that is the plus that we have here. Then in the same way, we also use our short method to expand this. If you don't know how to use the short method, you can just double the bracket and expand the usual way. But in a short method, which I would advise you to learn, you square this number first, and that will be 3 square is 9. Then plus, you multiply these 3 and x, that will give you 3x. And then you double it, that is, you multiply it by 2. And that will give us 6x. So 3 multiplied by x is 3x. Then multiply by 2 will give us 6x. And then lastly, you also square the last value that you have here. And that will be plus x squared. So now, we are going to simplify further so that we can see what we need to obtain there. Now, this 169, I'm going to take this 100 to this side. So I write this as 169. This 100 comes to this side, becomes minus 100. And then this 9, I'm collecting like terms now. 9 goes to that side, also becomes minus 9. And that will be equal to 20x plus 6x will give me 26x. And then x squared plus x squared will give me 2x. So plus 2x squared. X squared plus x squared will give me plus 2x squared. Then now 169 minus 100 will give us 69. And then 69 minus 9 will simply give us 60. So I have 60 is equal to 26x and then plus 2x squared. Now you agree with me that we can divide throughout by 2 so that we have this equation in its lowest term. So we can divide each term by 2. That means dividing the right hand side by 2. We also divide this side by 2. So dividing each term here by 2, we have 60 divided by 2 to give us 30. And that will be equal to 26x divided by 2 will give us 13x. And then 2x squared divided by 2 will give us simply x squared plus x squared. So now this is a quadratic equation. So let me take this 30 to the other side. So this place remains 0 now if I'm removing 30 from here. So what will be left here is 0. And that will be equal to, I can write the x squared first. Then plus 13x. Plus 13x. And then this 30 that is going to that side becomes minus 30. So I can decide to write it as writing this right hand side first before the 0. So I say x squared plus 13x minus 30 is equal to 0. Now with that, the next thing for me to do now is simply to factor this quadratic equation. To factor it, what I simply need to do is to open up bracket, a short method of factoring it. I open up bracket like this. I put another x here, open up bracket and equate it to 0. So what I simply need to do is to look for two numbers such that when I multiply them, it will give me negative 30. And when I add the two numbers, it will give me positive 13. So two numbers that their product will give me negative 30 and their addition, adding them will give me positive 13. So you agree with me that the higher number should take this sign. So you agree with me that the numbers should be positive 15 and negative 2. So positive 15 multiplied by negative 2 will give me negative 30. And then positive 15 added to negative 2 will give me positive 13. So these are the two numbers. Now, for us to solve this fully, I equate this bracket to 0. So if I equate this bracket to 0, I say x plus 15 is equal to 0. From there, if I take this positive 15 to that side, it gives me x is equal to negative 15. So that is one of the answer. Now the other bracket, I also equate it to 0. So I'm going to say x minus 2 is equal to 0. And that gives me x is equal to, when this negative 2 goes to that side, it becomes positive 2. So you agree with me that the length of a side cannot be negative. So this x equals to minus 15 is not correct. So we are not going to accept this answer because the length of a side of a triangle cannot be negative. So negative 15 cannot be the answer. So our correct answer is x is 2, which is the correct answer for x. So now if we go back to the shape, we can put our x as 2 centimeter here. This x as 2 centimeter. So you can see that x is 2 centimeter, x is also 2 centimeter. That is from here to here is 2 centimeter. So coming back to the question, it says find AB. So AB, which is from here to here, will be 3 centimeter added to 2 centimeter. This from here to here, which is x, is 2 centimeter. From here to here is 3 centimeter. So 3 added to 2 will give me AB as 5 centimeter. That is 3 plus 2. So AB is 5 centimeter. Similarly, to get BC, I'm going to add this 10 and x, which is 2. So 10 plus 2 will give me 12. And so BC is equal to 12 centimeter. Now, the final question says to find the radius of the circle. Now, for us to find the radius of the circle, we can take this point as the center of the circle. Now, there's a theorem, a circle theorem that says that a line from the center of the circle onto a tangent is perpendicular, that is at right angle to the tangent. So a line too, which is from the center of the circle onto a tangent, is perpendicular to the tangent. So this is perpendicular. So all these are 90 degrees. So this part will also be 90 degrees, so that we have 360 degrees. So you agree that this shape is a square where you have x, you have x. This will also be x because the opposite side of a square are equal. So if this is x, this side is also x. But don't forget that from the center of a circle to the circumference of the circle is the radius of the circle. And this radius of the circle, which is this length, is also equal to the value of x on this side, because the opposite side of a square, they are equal. So this is x, this is x, this is x, this is x. And this side or here, they represent the radius of the circle. So you agree with me that this value radius is also equal to x, which means that the radius of the circle is 2 centimeters. So I can conclude on this side and say radius is equal to 2 centimeters as our final answer. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial video. I want to believe that you really enjoyed it, and so I will advise you to subscribe to this channel so that I can get more videos like this. Please don't forget to also share these videos for others to learn from it. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.